You're disappointed in our performance tonight in every facet on the mound, defensively, offensively, and give UCLA all the credit. They played so much better than we did when he was close.
What did you feel like the pitching staff was maybe struggling through today? I know you went through a lot of guys, and it seemed like everyone just didn't get off to a good start.
Well, we just weren't on attack road, never got into a really good rhythm, and give UCLA hitters all the credit. I mean, they did a good job. Having him in the stretch, having pressure on him, and we didn't have a clean inning until the 8th inning. There were some freshmen that I thought did some good things for us along the way. Majors got us off the field with a big punch out, a 3-0 hitter, and Will Johnston got a ground ball. We don't turn a double play, and then obviously Mason Ornanos was fantastic just to wrap things up for us and keep us from having to go back to the bullpen again.
For someone who hasn't watched you guys in the game, defense obviously was not good today. Was this just kind of a blip on the radar for you guys, or has that been kind of work in progress?
Well, we have not been great defensively. The last probably 3 games, it's been very consistent and had taken care of the ball much better than we did tonight. And UCLA had pressure on us for 8 of the 9 innings. We were in the stretch and traffic on the bases, and once they get on the bases, they're going to force an issue too. And they did a much better job tonight. An extremely well coached, disciplined team that played very well.
They gave you some chances. You had some runners on, but just one hit on the night. Didn't make the big hit. How much of that was Nastrini and their bullpen? How much of that was just not getting it done offensively?
Well, it's just not getting it done. We didn't get it done last night, and we didn't get it done again tonight. We come back after giving up a 2-run home run, and we score a run, cut the lead in half without a hit, and kind of grab a little bit of the momentum back. We go right back and give it back to them, and never were able to get it back. And couldn't get a stop on the mound. Every guy we went to, it was a move or two too late. And they get up. We did get off the field. We'd go right back and lead off hitters on, and they're started up running again.
How frustrating is the 9 walks? It's never really been the case since you've been in that much.
That would be an understatement. Frustrating would have been an understatement. Just free base runners, they capitalized on it, and that's not something that we do very often. We certainly did that tonight, and it was nobody's fault but our own.
Is there an added level of frustration with it being at this kind of preseason tournament where you harken back to how much like a regional, like a dress rehearsal for regional this could be?
Well, it is, and it's also a weekend where you find out an awful lot about your blind spots and what you're doing well, what you need improvement on, leading into a weekend series next weekend before SEC play starts, and it shows you your strengths, and it also exposes a lot of your weaknesses too. So there's certainly some room for improvement on our part moving forward.
On the offensive and hitting side, do you address this by getting those guys out there to get another one, or are you going to shake things up a little bit tomorrow?
Well, we may shake some things up a little bit tomorrow, but the guys that we've run out the last 2 nights have been so fabulous for us in the first 10 games, and certainly have the experience and credibility to get back out there. It's not going to be a huge shake-up. It may be a spot or 2, but all in all, I mean, those are the pieces that we've seen do a lot of great things, and we expect that out of them tomorrow. That's the great thing about our sport, is we don't have to sit on it for 6 days before we get back out there. We're going to be back out there early tomorrow at 3 o'clock, and try to get this taste out of our mouth, just like Oklahoma State will too. I would expect a very competitive game at 3 o'clock.
You think Weber, Werner to chase Joe's walk tomorrow? Is that what it says?
Certainly, Bryce Miller will be available, and those will be the moves that will make off jobs.
How much concern do you have, and what are the next steps that you see for a young bullpen that has kind of not found its stride so far this season?
I mean, certainly Will Johnston got us a ground ball double play, and we tried to steal some more outs out of him when we didn't do that. But Lou Menifee is a guy that we have got to get going. He had a great outing earlier in the week for us, midweek, and thought he was well on his way back to being that piece in the bullpen. And we need that guy to be just who he is and who he's capable of being. And nobody wants to be that guy more than Lou Menifee does. And we're going to get him back and get him right. And certainly with Bryce Miller and Trevor Werner at the end of the game, those are 4 super talented pieces for the last 7, 8, 9 outs of the game.
Last question. All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.